We were born out of love, to be loved, and to love. That's what our life is centered around. What's up, people? It's Be Real, and I just want to first thank you for taking the time out to tune in and welcome you to the first episode of Real Talk, where we get a chance to be real with Be Real. Look, I really do hope that you enjoy what you're about to hear. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this conversation. Let's go. What's up? We're going to go ahead and open up with a question. What is the one thing that we all crave, but the main thing that makes us the most afraid? Go ahead. I'll wait.
2 hours later.
You want to know? Guess what? It's love. Now listen, I know a lot of us have, had our own personal experiences with love being misrepresented and just got a bad taste in our mouths for the word love, even just the idea of love. But can I just be honest with y'all? Love is the most important thing that we can ever receive. Period. It doesn't matter what we may have experienced or what others try to make us believe. It's the most important. And during my time of discovering what true love is from God teaching me, I just want to share 3 phases and purposes that love has. So the first phase is the scary phase. Now in this phase, its purpose is to pull people near to embrace their fears, but it often pushes people away because they are too afraid to deal with the unfamiliar and the discomfort. The second phase is the painful phase. And this phase, its purpose is to help you confront the thing that hurt you in order to bring forth healing. But most people never heal because they're unwilling to confront the pain that they're in and forgive the people who caused the pain. The third phase is the revelation phase. Now, in this phase, this is where you begin to reveal your true identity. It reveals who you really are, and it helps you to recognize how loved you are and understand that your pain does not define you. This is also where you cross over from being a helpless victim to actually being a mighty victor. And you begin to learn how to genuinely love others as God loves you. Now, let me just quickly recap. The first phase is the scary phase that pushes people away, although it's meant to draw people near. The second phase is the painful phase, where it's designed to actually help you confront the pain that hurt you and help you heal by forgiving others. And the third phase is the phase of revelation, the revelation phase that reveals who you really are. And it shows you how loved you are so that you can properly express that love to others. Now, I'm sure that we hear a lot of people say, love is for suckers, love is blind, love is weak, love ain't nothing but a 4-letter word. But can I just be real with you? A lot of people who say things like this, and I was one of them, we say these things out of the fact that somebody hurt us in the name of love. Let's just be real. And we don't know how to deal with it. So this brings me to share a little background about me. Like, I grew up in a single mom household, trying to raise 4 boys. Neither of us knew what love was. My mom didn't, so she didn't know how to properly express it to us. So we're in this environment where she's doing the best she knows, but we're not hearing I love you, nor are we properly seeing expressions of love. So it made us go looking for love in all the wrong places. So from drugs to alcohol, the streets, and women, we were looking for it. I found a young lady, and we got together my 8th grade year and stayed together on and off. And by the end of my senior year, she was actually pregnant. Now, due to our circumstances, which, we'll jump into in detail in a later episode, we decided not to keep it. We got an abortion. Now, during this process, may I add, neither one of us understood what love was either. So I jumped into the military right after high school and just began my own process of learning. I got married while I was in the military, even though neither one of us also knew what love was. Now, listen, I hope you're paying attention to a theme here. But even though neither one of us understood what love was, I began to understand something that God was doing, though I didn't grow up in a Christian household, but I was feeling this pull, and just a door was opening up to me like, hey, this right here is what love is supposed to look like. Like, it's not the dysfunction that you grew up around and that you believe to be the norm. It's like, no, that's not it. So in the midst of that, I also ended up giving my life to Christ while I was in this marriage. Even though we had a lot of good, bad moments, after 3.5 years, we got divorced. So this actually led me to get remarried, and probably a year later. Man, once I got into the second marriage, I will not lie to you. My whole life got flipped upside down because neither one of us knew what love was either. Go figure. And I saw firsthand the severity of my lack of not knowing what love was. Because this was the first time I began to really get real and try to figure out, hey, I don't really know how God loved me. So I don't know how to love myself. And I definitely cannot love my spouse or even my children, because she had a son and we had one on our own now. And it just left me in this state of confusion. Like, I'm wrestling with suicidal thoughts. I'm wrestling with anxiety, fear, depression, insecurities, and I began to see that it was not the best idea for me to put unnecessary pressure on somebody else to make me feel a certain type of way, because I cannot feel good about myself. And like, how many of us do that? We're insecure about ourselves and we expect somebody else to make us feel better about ourselves because we don't want to accept the fact I need to really learn how to love me before I can ever love you or anybody else. But in the midst of going through that process, after 4 years of being in this marriage, we actually separated. Ton of mistakes made on my end. And I began a process of just crying out to God. Like, yo, what is going on? Because I'm lost. I'm confused. I don't get it. And I just remember seeing him take me through the sweetest yet most painful process that I ever went through in my life. He just began to gently speak. Hey, I'm glad that you are finally asking, because I've been patiently waiting to show you. And he just began to show me, you lack the real understanding of love. And because you have not received my love, you haven't been able to give any true love away. And that broke me down, because even though we got divorced and everything, it put me in this space that I'm in now, even currently. I've embraced the fact that I know how to receive his love, which helps me to effectively give his love away with others. And even as I talk with other people and do life with others, I realize that there are two phases that they're stuck in. And it's the first and second phase. And these phases are the most popular because they are the most convenient and they're easily controllable. And can I just be real with y'all? Love is never meant to be controlled. It's meant to be received and also shared to others by us. That's what love is. So when we put ourselves in a position to try to control it, we limit ourselves and others from encountering a real expression of love. And on top of that, these two phases also gives us a temporary satisfaction that prevent us from experiencing a permanent fulfillment through a intimate level of depth and transparency that only true love can offer us. Now, listen, I know a lot of us have these things where you trying to ponder, like, man, this is a lot of stuff to try to process. Be real. Like, can you pause it? So I'll pause right there and just leave y'all with this. We were born out of love, to be loved, and to give love. Let me just repeat that. We were born out of love, to be loved, and to love. That's what our life is centered around. So, with all these things, I want to leave y'all with 2 practical ways that you can tap into this expression of true love that you've been hearing me talk about. The first is real simple. Get with God. Even if you don't believe in him, just get with him and ask him. Hey, I heard that there are 3 phases in love. There's the scary phase, the painful phase, and the revelation phase. I'm very sure I'm not in the revelation phase. So I'm in one of the other 2. So can you help me figure out which one I'm in? Once you discover which one that you truly are in, then you begin to take your step to step 2. The second key is now find out what steps that you practically need to do in order to come out of these phases, whichever one you may be in. Because once you begin to go through this here, you begin to see, man, you know what? I need to break free from this fear. I am afraid of talking to somebody because, hey, they may reject me. They may ridicule me. They may make me feel uncomfortable because I'm just not a extrovert. I'm an introvert. It's like, well, regardless of what you may be, fear is fear. Punch it in the face and actually step out past it. Period. Or you may be, I need to forgive this person. Forgive your mom. Forgive your dad. Forgive your brother, your sister, your ex, whatever the case may be. Forgive and receive healing. Now, let me just also preface that you will not go through this one time. Like, in different seasons of your life, you will go through these phases multiple times. And you have the responsibility to stay in those or either keep going to level 3. You have that opportunity each time. So I want to leave you with a power question to just ponder on. And the question is, what is your greatest fear during this process of experiencing true love? Now that you've heard about it, what is your greatest fear from this whole process? Right, for me, it was the fear of, I'm afraid of having a healthy relationship because I haven't seen it before in my life. So I don't know what to think about. So I can stay in that place of fear, or I can actually try to do everything I possibly know how to come out of fear and step forward in faith, believing I will have a healthy relationship because I'm learning what true love is now. So listen, we're out of time, but I really do hope you enjoyed it and you join me for the next episode. Till then, I pray blessings over you. Yo, what's good, y'all? I really do hope that you enjoyed this episode. But if you found any value in this whatsoever, why don't you go ahead and do me a favor? Once you like, comment, subscribe, or even just share this with somebody else, because you never know what that can do to help be a blessing to somebody else. So I really do hope that you also challenge yourself to engage with the power question as well, because once you begin to do that, you'll begin to see just more transformation come from where you're at and even where you're trying to get to. So with all that being said, I want to leave y'all with this. Create what you imagine, believe in your dreams, and above all things, do what you love and be real. You feel me?